So we already spoke about the best places to live, cities. We spoke about places where remote workers are going. We speak about housing, taxes. We speak about states that'll, drain your pockets. We spoke about it all, but we need to really get deep into conversation right here. And we're going to talk about what are some of the most segregated and most integrated cities you've ever seen. So I lived in Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis is a majority black area. There's pockets of crime in that area. And, it's easy to, stereotypes. And that's one thing that I spoke about somewhere else. I said, listen, stereotypes are there for a reason. Stereotypes are not created out of thin air. There had to be some kind of trends or whatever the hell to cause it to be a stereotype. Like when I did a video for North Dakota, and it was the majority of incidents or criminal activity was DUI driving up there in the fields, and North Dakota's like 88% white, right? So the stereotype there is that, the dude is walking out with his open bottle of Coors or Miller Lite. I think it's Miller up there is what they love, right? And they jump in their Ford F-150 truck or Sierra or GMC, whatever the hell, because now I'm doing a stereotype, right? And they hop in their truck and they drink and drive, okay? And that is a stereotype. You could visually picture this person hopping out of the bar, twisted, boots on, jeans on, jumping in the car, drunk driving, get pulled over, cop behind, okay, whatever, right? It's a stereotype. I always say the best thing that we could do as humans, as we could do as people, is you don't have to continue a stereotype. People are going to be biased. People are going to be judgmental. Show me a person other than Jesus Christ that doesn't have a little bias, doesn't have a little, even some judgmental things we could find in the big book, okay? You could find that in the big book, but show me that, So we shouldn't be so up in arms about things. And that's why it takes me a longer time to put out videos like this, because I want to define first what we do here at Strizzy Report and why you should be a smart mover and why you should care about moving smarter, right? What that means strategically. If you're an investor, how could we, find the undervalued, underserved markets and invest in? If you are relocating and you have options to relocate to, what area is going to help you keep more of your money in your pocket? And then if you're a retiree, you already gave your effort, your work, you worked hard, your entire life, and then all of a sudden in your retirement, your pension, your Social Security, whatever, taxed again. Come on, you got to go take care of that. You go into a place that has better tax benefits for retirement. So those Social Security tax and all that. So here we are. We're at this point in our career here at Strizzy Report where we're going to get nitty. We're going to get gritty. So like I said, lived in Memphis, majority black. I've never, before Memphis, lived around so many black people. I'm not going to front to you. I just never did. I grew up in a town in Jersey that was primarily, it started off mixed. It started off white more and, percentage of Spanish, black, little small. Then it went to Spanish, Hispanic, and then it black, I never been around so many black people. Philadelphia, that was a mixture for me. I was in Manayunk, Philly. That was a mixture for me. Delaware, that was a mixture for me. Memphis, though, this is my first time. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and maybe I have people out here that are from the islands. If you're from the island, right, you've always, and I don't know if it's some, embedded, innate, or cultural thing that, just came about, but you kind of like, there always seemed to be like a thin line of separation between Black Americans and Caribbean. There's a thin line of separation. I think there's an even thicker line with Africans. Africans, Black Americans, thin line, a thicker line, Black Americans, thin line, Caribbean. And we're not all created equally, is what, we have in our brain. Instinctually, like, I don't know. I'm not putting anyone down. This is not a video for that. This is really a video to just understand really sociology, stereotypes, behaviors, so we could touch on these things, because we want to talk about what are some of the most segregated and most integrated cities you've seen. Now, let me see down below in the comments. Go ahead and let me know what you've seen, where you live, what it was. Now, let's get into the real conversation here, because I share videos on Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, Utah. A lot of people just ain't going because of the dynamics of the racial disparity, the race disparity. And for whatever reason, that's fine for them. Now, if I move into a place, I do a lot of research on it, but I never felt racism like that, you know. And there's a piece of me that I know it's there, right? I know it's not as what they say it is, right? And racism a lot of times lives in people's heads more than it's actual factual out in front of you. The places that they say I was supposed to see the most racism, I didn't see any. Like Tennessee, like Texas, like Alabama, like, you know what I mean? And those are the places that you're supposed to see it on every street. You're supposed to see the Confederate flag waving. And here's the thing. I'm not hurt by the Confederate flag. Those are the things that I'm not hurt by. Like, I see it and it doesn't do anything internally to me. It doesn't make me mad or fearful, or it just doesn't, you know? And I think once we attach these things of the past to how we feel, we can't move forward. So I don't like to get stuck in these places. And, you know, me as being a triple threat. Okay, now I'm black, now I'm a woman, now I'm gay. Woo-hoo-hoo! A whole stereotype in a box with a bow. What are you gonna do? Okay? All right, so just a little bit about that. I wanted to start doing some videos on demographics more, and I thought this would have been a first video to ease that in. It says here, though, people have answered this question. What are some of the most segregated and most integrated cities you've seen? Because I want to be fair to everybody. Some people don't pick places because of the demographics, and that's fine. So if there isn't even the best place you've ever seen in your life, but you won't go there because it's 80% white, there's some people that choose like that. You won't go there because it's 80% black. Some people choose things like that. Are they wrong? Are they incorrect? No, it's their preference, guys. People have preferences. However, it's the ones that have guts. It's the ones that don't follow the same pattern. It's the ones that want to be the change they want to see. It's the ones that don't let stereotypes hold them back or define them. Those are the ones that will create a life that they really love, like an outstanding life. Okay, me, I'm damn near everywhere. Like, I'm damn near everywhere, you know. Let's get uncomfortable, right? All right, so let's say Milwaukee segregation is pretty insane, someone says. And we're gonna keep going. It says here, feel the exact way about Cleveland when I had a layover there. I recall a study that put it at the most segregated major city was Milwaukee. Do you agree, all my Milwaukeeans? All right. So someone says here, I've never been to a place that isn't segregated. Think about it. Even in the South, there's black neighborhoods and white neighborhoods, and there's way more black people overall. Now, check this out. In Louisiana, I went to Shreveport. I had dinner there. I haven't been to these places. In my frontal cortex, I'm not thinking about race. I don't live my life like that through that lens. However, I did notice something. All right, so I noticed somebody gave me, I went to a barbershop and somebody gave me the stilo on the best place for good food. I had to try it. So when I pulled in, the roads were raggedy as hell, but it was by some water. It was nice. You know, the scene was nice. The view was nice, but it's black owned. I think it's been in shows for food or cooking or whatever. And when I pulled in the driveway, I seen a mixture. And mind you, this is in Shreveport, that was a black community. Black, across the street, white, a black. So I'm like trying to figure this out. Like, where am I? Coming outside of the thing, you had white people coming out. They had the gator boots, not even the cowboy boots. It was the cowboy boots, but it was gator snakeskin style. I don't know, never seen it, but I'm like, damn, that shit is dope. It's dope. You have families coming out, black people coming out. I go in, you got an old group of white women at the bar. So it's just integrated, right? So most places that we find that are highly segregated are so small, so kind of, they have the big, the news coming out there, right? The news is bigger than the actual place it is. So I want you guys to help me, because maybe I'm naive. Maybe you're like, Striz, I thought you knew better. Because again, I've been to a lot of places. Now, I bet when I was in Bozeman, when I was in Montana, but I never felt like I go in stores, they welcome me, they help me, I just don't, again, I don't have that in my brain. So maybe I see a different world because I don't have that in my brain. It's almost like if whatever you have, your vision, and in your brain, that's what you see. Again, we're going to keep going. All right, so I'm from Texas and went to far northern Wisconsin on a fishing trip. Couldn't figure out what was wrong until I went to the supper club and it hit me. No one brown or black person there, or the bait shop or Walmart. They didn't have it. I'm from Alabama and ended up in Iowa State Fair a few years ago, and I've never seen that many white people all at once. You went to Iowa. There's a lot to this. I married an Indiana girl. I remember the first time I went to visit her extended family in Evansville for some occasion. I couldn't figure out what was off until I finally noticed an African-American woman at the grocery store. I mean, because you weren't thinking about it. I guess the next video, because I'm going to do the demographic style videos next, like in the next maybe 4 or 5 videos. So I just wanted to pipe in here and get the conversation going, because it is the Strizzy Report. We report on it all. All right? We report on it all. You don't find a lot. See, here's the thing. You find more white people that I think comes to black cities and lives and whatever, then you find the black folks that goes to white places and live. Do you see that? Is that right? Someone says here, where are the racially diverse areas that aren't big cities or suburban sprawl? I currently live in Florida and have lived in Brooklyn and Atlanta, and I prefer the diversity in these areas, but I dream of raising my son around nature and having a nice neighborhood walk to school. I love walkable small cities like some of the cities in the Midwest. I love places with natural beauty like the towns in upstate New York or Pacific Northwest, but those places are so white. Do any of y'all live in any places like this? That's crazy. That's crazy. Somebody says, I dream of living in a small town Americana like a Hallmark movie. Hope to find some good suggestions here. Yes. So you got to actually go there and live there. Like, I don't know what's stopping people. What's stopping people from going to live there? Again, you're going to hit me with there's news, there's racism, there's this, there's that. I get it. But the majority of that is being pushed, and I believe a lot of it is propaganda. I believe a lot of it you will never see in your lifetime. It's like the measles outbreak right now. There's 3 people that died for it, but the news is so crazy and scary. It's almost like everybody got it, right? So let's talk about that. Strizzy Report signing out. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe, like, share. Peace. Hey.